Young girls are sleeping with men in exchange for money to purchase sanitary pads. It's a thing. It happens. And for me though, I think the reason why I'm sharing you this particular story is the issue is bigger than sanitary pads. The issue is bigger than sex. There are underlying factors that needs to be addressed. And these are the factors that I want to actually explain to you on today's segment. You know, why this is a thing. Why on earth would a young girl sleep with men in exchange for sanitary pads? It sounds bizarre. It sounds ridiculous. It is absurd, and that's why I feel as though I need to address it. I have to address it. I do. We'll be right back. Hello everybody, thank you for clicking my channel. My name is Ep.21 and I am a visual storyteller. The reason why young girls are sleeping with men in exchange for money to buy sanitary pads there are lots of reasons, but I'm going to give you just three of. First off, stigma. Now, when it comes to talking about sex, that is something we don't know much about. Our parents don't talk about that while we're growing up. Nobody tells you about it. And in some cases with some of these girls, it's if they meet a guy for the first time and it happens and then bam, they get pregnant. So there aren't any sex education, there ain't anything like that. And if a girl happens to have a period in an open area, she gets teased. For example, here's an article of a young girl who got teased in class. Allegedly, a 14-year-old girl who got teased in class by her teacher, and as a result of this, allegedly, she committed suicide. So you can see that there is period shaming in Africa. People shame you for just having a period. Now also, when it comes to pregnancy, I really want to highlight this. There are several countries across Africa that actually banned young pregnant teens from going to school because they believe that these teens will become bad influence to other teens. And so they aren't allowed to go to school. Now, Sierra Leone have done wonders. They have decided to put away or destroy that law that stops a girl from going to school. And they have other organizations like this one that provide private teaching to students who, to pregnant teenagers, right? So the second reason is poverty. Countries around the world, especially in the West, provided palliatives for their citizens as it relates to COVID-19. That is not the case for Africans. There aren't, or if there were, it would be like few palliatives that were provided to parents, and a lot of the monies that were supposed to be given to families to help them, to cushion them during this difficult times, where money that were used on politicians, they use these monies that are supposed to be given to citizens. These monies were used for themselves. So you can see that investments weren't made on the people. So if a mother had to choose between putting food on the table and buying sanitary pads, then she would definitely put food on the table, and then the young daughter would have to go out into the world and fend for herself. And that is exactly what we're looking at. Last but not least, there aren't any sex education as it relates to young girls. There aren't any contraceptive. So these are all the things that will promote sex, because girls don't know much about it. Boys don't know anything about this. But if there are education that teaches these students the consequences of what happens when you have unprotected sex. So right now we're talking about high pregnancy rates, right? There are also STDs and HIV. These are things that we really have to start talking about with either within the home or in school. It should be an education for girls and boys to know what this is. So when a girl is approached by which is motorcyclists, these are men that actually impregnate these girls, right? When they're approached by these men, they know exactly what this predator wants. You know what I mean? So I feel that it is important that we really pay attention to our girls, because not educating a girl is actually, we are repeating a cycle of poverty. We are repeating a cycle of poverty. Education should be for both boys and girls. And in Africa, that line has not been bridged yet. So we need to educate our girl child. We need to educate our boy child when it comes to sex education. But as always though, I want to hear your own opinion. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification bell to be the first to receive any new content. I'll see you again soon next time.